Snowy Wednesday and say welcome. Thanks for joining us. I know most of you will watch this later, but want to recap a little bit of what we talked about on Sunday. We finished out chapter 3 of First John and talking about loving one another and how important and vital that is to our life, that we would love one another. I think what John talks a lot about in there is less about like the particular loving and more on the particulars of not hating, on not having negative feelings and negative actions toward others. He covers uh, multiple times in the book of First John about how we are not, how we cannot allow hatred and love or eternity or salvation to exist at the same time. They just cannot. And so uh, I think one of the things I take away from what we talked about on Sunday is I can be as loving as I want to people I like and people that are nice to me, but it's really how we treat people who we don't necessarily get along with, people that we don't naturally care for, or who maybe irritate us or that have hurt us. That is, I think, a lot more of what John is getting at in his letter is the reality that in the church there will be people that we just naturally like, we get along with, our personalities mesh, but there will also be people we don't get along with, people that rub us the wrong way, people that irritate us or that genuinely have hurt us and have wronged us. And we are to live as a family in the midst of all of that. And so I think what we can take away from John's message is the importance of forgiveness, the importance of intentionally loving people, intentionally caring for them, and not allowing the evilness of hatred to reside in our hearts. I think one natural way to do that is if there is somebody in our family, or there's somebody that you know, or there's a Christian that has deeply hurt you, pray for them, and not the typical prayer of like, oh Lord, I pray that you help their heart because they're a horrible person. That's not really what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is genuinely praying that God would reach them, that God would bring them success, that God would bless their life. These are the kind of prayers that will change the way we view people if we engage in prayer for them. And so I think there's a lot to take away from John's message there in chapter 3, the end of chapter 3. And so I hope you will continue to look over that, continue to read over John's entire encouragement. But this week, hopefully you've been reading chapter 4. We're going to open up chapter 4. Don't know how far we're going to get into chapter 4 this Sunday, but I'm looking forward to our study, finishing out our study of First John, and then diving right into Second and Third John. I'm not sure where that'll take us as far as the year and what that's going to look like. It'd be great to be able to finish all of that up before January when we start our month of prayer, or 40 days of prayer, but we'll see where the Lord takes us in all of that. I hope you're having a blessed week. I hope that message of loving each other, loving one another, it speaks to you, and I hope we don't just hear the word, but we actually do something about it. I think, in First John chapter 3, John talks about that, that we wouldn't just be hearers, but doers of the word, and that we would be people of action, people that show our love through our action, through what we're doing, that we would live a life that, whether it's our own heart or others try to condemn us, we would be able to look at our actions and see from that the love that we have for others, the love that we have for God as it's displayed in other people. So that's really all I got for you today. As far as the weekend, I don't see anything big on the calendar here. Thanksgiving's next week already. Can you believe it? Almost a week away from legally being allowed to play Christmas music. Some of you are breaking the law already. But I'm looking forward to the Christmas season. Some of you know it's my favorite time of the entire year. I really, really love Christmas, and I'm excited for another Christmas season with my family, my two beautiful children, and with my church family. excited for what God's got for us. I know we have a great Christmas Eve program that's being planned and is already being worked on. I know the kids have been working on it hard. I hope that you are making plans to be with our church family on Christmas Eve. If you are looking at your calendar already, you've probably realized that Christmas falls on a Sunday, Christmas Day. And so just giving you a heads up, we'll talk more about this as we get closer, but our Christmas Eve service is going to be our weekend service. We're not going to have a service on Sunday morning. Saturday night, Christmas Eve, that will be our big service. And so I encourage you to be thinking about that and joining us for Christmas Eve service as we the kids share, and there's going to be some music and it's going to be a good time. So just want to give you a heads up on that. We have our Christmas banquet coming up as well and a bunch of other things happening. So I hope you will engage with us. I hope you'll be around for Christmas, this whole Christmas season. I know God has a lot for us. We also have a lot of ministry happening, a lot of fellowship and togetherness that we'll do in the Christmas season. So be blessed. Have a great week, and I hope to see you Sunday, 10:30 a.m., hopefully in person. If not, you can always catch us here.